Hello everyone, and welcome to PokeRogue. So this is a roguelike Pokemon-style kind of game, and I've seen a lot of it kind of going around on Twitch, and I'm sure there's probably a little bit on YouTube and a few different other places too. And honestly, I wanted to check it out because I like Pokemon. I think most people do. And I thought it'd be quite fun to kind of check it out. I have played a little bit of it already, just to see how it works, see if it was something I could, I guess, make a video out of. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hop right in. Right, so as I said, this isn't the first time I've played this, but I haven't played too much of it. I think this is about my third try, maybe? My first one, I only picked 2 Pokemon originally because I didn't think it would be quite that difficult. I then realized very quickly that there was a reason that you were allowed to pick 3. And so I thought, you know what, I'll try it one more time. And I think I got to about, I don't know, 15 or 16 maybe. And then I kind of realized, you know, this could be really fun for a video. So I thought, you know what, let's do it. So, as for the choices I've actually made so far for the 3 that I've chosen, I've picked a Fire type, a Water type, and a Grass type, because obviously if you get 3 picks and those are your only options at first, why wouldn't you? I picked Bulbasaur for my Grass type, because Bulbasaur's just generally good, and it's also one of the few that have a dual type to start off with, meaning that it's weak to less things, which is always nice. Then I've grabbed Fennekin, because Fennekin is one of my favorite Fire type starters, and I was trying not to pick 2 from the same generation. Just, you know, mix things up a little bit. And then I picked Mudkip, because a Water Ground type is pretty good later on. Alright, so this is our first trainer battle. So I think every single time you play there's a trainer battle at 5. Other than that, though, it seems to be, for the most part, pretty inconsistent about when the trainer battles are. Yeah, this one, for the most part, wasn't too difficult. Obviously, we're still pretty early in the game, so it shouldn't be. We've already got Mudkip up to level 6. Got Rock Smash, which happens to be very useful for the Poochyena that he happens to have. So yeah, this one wasn't too much of a struggle at all, and we were able to quickly move on from that. Yet another thing that I've noticed about this is your rival seems to usually be at about the same level every single time, so your first battle with them is always on number 8. Luckily, this was yet again not too big of a deal battle-wise, because she only has 2 Pokemon right now, and being that I get 1 of each starter, I pretty much have something to deal with her Pokemon no matter what. Because she usually has a bird, and then 1 of the 3 starter types. So I also just wanted to explain quickly here why I picked Bulbasaur. Reason being, Fennekin got killed, unfortunately, and Starly doesn't have a flying type move yet, so my best choice ends up being Bulbasaur due to its resistance to any of Chespin's grass type moves, and the fact that both Tandemaus and Starly have a lower health right now, and Mudkip is weak to grass type moves. This battle, we did end up winning. However, it did take a lot. And, you know, could have gone very horribly if it weren't for catching the Starly earlier with Quick Attack, because I can only assume Chespin would have outsped Tandemaus. The final consistency that I will point out is that there is always some sort of boss or gym leader or something or other every 10. So it can either be just a Pokemon that has more health than usual and gets a boost once you get it down to half, or it might be an actual gym leader or someone coming to battle you. I haven't gotten far enough at this point to know if there's anything later that's a little different, but that's what I know so far. Generally speaking, things were going pretty well at this point. However, I was not ready for what was about to hit me next. The next battle happened to be a double battle. These two had EVs. And you might think, oh, EVs, whatever. They are level 8, which is, about where I'm sitting at right now, so, not too bad. However, something weird happened here. Eevee used Covet. You're like, okay. That didn't quite kill Bulbasaur. Then it did, and I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not too big of a deal. Swapping's had Mudkip out. Highest level. Right. Fennekin outspeeds. Then Covet crits, so I'm like, okay, that's really unfortunate. But I'm like, okay, whatever. The other Eevee uses Covet, and that kills. And I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? Because realistically, Covet should not do that much damage, I don't think. Unless I'm just crazy. And then, Covet one-shots the Starly. And obviously one-shots the Tandemaus. Ending the run. This really confused me, because based on the math I did, even with different abilities and such, Covet should have been, at max, a 2-hit. But it's also weird that it 2-hitted Bulbasaur and not the rest of them. Either way, on to the next run, I guess. Alright, so for our second run in this video, I've decided to go with Bulbasaur, Starly, being that we unlocked it in the last run, and Torchic. So again, I've done my best to pick. I have a grass type, specifically Bulbasaur, because again, Bulbasaur is very good. I've picked Torchic for my fire type. Eventually turns into a fire fighting type, which is super useful. And then we also have a normal flying type this time instead of a water type. But hopefully we will be able to get a water type a little bit later to kind of fill that empty spot.
This run, I will say, I generally enjoyed a bit more just because, I don't know, I think it just went over a little better than the first one. And this one I also just felt better. Like, I felt like I kind of had improved and done a bit better than my other runs that I had done so far. Though I will say this first decision maybe wasn't great, because I didn't fully understand what this move did. But that's fine. The run still went pretty well overall, so... So, when I play Pokemon, I kind of go for like an all-out attack thing. Like, I don't really worry about using status moves very often. Like, I mean, if I have Bulbasaur or something and I have like Leech Seed or Poison Powder or something, or even Sleep Powders, and I know I know Bulbasaur's about to go down, then I might try and use the Sleep Powder to like put him to sleep, and then I can like heal or, you know, whatever. Or Leech Seed I use quite often, just for that extra bonus bit of health. But I don't find myself using like Sand Attack or Leer or anything like that too often. Which is why when watching these, I usually just get rid of them. Like, I just kind of grab all the attacks and all the, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm very much someone who likes to just brute force everything. And obviously in the last run that did not work out. But, you know, I'll learn eventually. Maybe. So we had yet again made our way to the first boss, and obviously in this situation I swapped out to Torchic, so I could do some super effective damage and deal with it quickly. It didn't take long to get it down all the way and get to move on. So I've gone ahead and just sped this a little bit up because not much in the way of anything important happens other than me catching a Zubat. And I didn't want this video to be like 45 minutes long. But, yeah. Throw some music in the background here and we'll get moving on to the next important battle. And here it is, our first gym battle. So, first gym leader luckily is Sharon, which is a normal type, so it shouldn't be too difficult. However, you can't exactly just underestimate him, especially when he starts with a level 13 with a special attack boost. Luckily, we have a special defense boost, so that basically negates it. So we can just kind of not worry about that too much. I decided to keep Starly in just because Starly's already pretty low anyway, and I figure Starly can do at least a good bit of damage. And ends up getting Minccino down to just about 1 health, or probably pretty close to it. Before we swap into Torchic to finish it off. Just with it. Oh. Forgot about that. She then swaps to Lillipup, which is a higher level, but should be pretty easy to take out. Especially with our attack boost we have right now as well. And the Lillipup is down. So then we're going to send back in Minccino, which we can just go ahead and quick attack to finish this battle off nice and quickly. That wasn't too bad. So, using the map, I was able to choose where we would head next, and I decided on the lake due to the fact that we still do not currently have a water type, and I thought maybe we could use this as a chance to get one. Luckily, we ran into Choodle first, which is actually a pretty good water type Pokemon, and it also has Strong Jaw, meaning that any sort of bite move that it uses will be increased in damage, so not a bad idea to catch. And here is our rival again at level 25. This is going to be a little more difficult, but hopefully we can take her. This time she has 3 Pokemon instead of 2 though as well, so I'll keep that in mind. And she starts with a level 18, great! So this is kind of the point I noticed where you really need a strategy going into it. Because otherwise you literally just lose. Chudo goes down after doing a little bit of damage to the Pidgeotto. I decided to swap into Torchic due to it being my next strongest attacker. And I'm hoping I outspeed. It uses Fly, but I realize I can use Detect to protect myself, and for some reason I was also thinking that Fly is one of the moves where it would take damage if it can't hit me, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I then use Flame Charge again, and it uses Fly again, so that does not work. And protect myself, yet again. I then realize that I can just use Quick Attack to outspeed it before it flies up into the air to do even just a little bit of damage. Then I can protect myself again. Though I also do realize that unfortunately this strategy is not going to work the entire time because I'm going to run out of detects. But she switches back to Prinplup, so it doesn't really matter anyway. I then swap to Bulbasaur for type advantage. And then Prinplup swaps out. And goes back into Pidgeotto. To which I decide to Leech Seed because I figure I'm just not going to get out of the battle anyway without losing one of my Pokemon. But I decide to switch to Zubat to use as fodder due to its low level and kind of uselessness at the moment. I can then use that to swap back into Torchic to continue my earlier strategy. And then she swaps again. And this is about where I realize that there's no winning. But I try anyway, swapping to Bulbasaur, prepared for the Water-type move, in which she swaps back into Pidgeotto yet again, and I swap back to I thought I was going to swap, but I then decide to use Growth, not realizing that it raises attack and special attack, not defense. Hoping that I can maybe somehow take the super effective Fly. Which just wasn't going to happen. And Bulbasaur goes down. Which means it's all up to our level 15 Torchic. I again attempt to go for the strategy, using Quick Attack before it flies, and then using Detect to protect myself from its incoming attack. It then swaps back to Prinplup, which means I get another hit in on it, and go for the Detect, based on it using its Water-type move. It, however, doesn't swap out this time, for some reason. I don't know if that's just based on the fact that it didn't actually make contact with Torchic or what, but I am now out of Detects and just have to attack it. And I do not outspeed and get one shot, ending this run. honestly, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions on how I could do a little better, let me know. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone!